Hello, hello. You're listening to the Career Changemaker podcast. Having the courage to leave a career that you have worked hard to build and try something else can be tough. So in each episode, we dive into key career change strategies so that you have a clear understanding of what is required to transition into a new role or a new industry without feeling like you have to start at the bottom or have to take a massive pay cut. Because ain't nobody got time for that. If you are ready for frank and honest discussions about how to become a career change maker, keep listening. I'm your host, lawyer turned career strategist and executive coach, Janine Esbrand. Hello, and welcome to the show. So in today's episode, I'm going to be doing a bit of a behind the scenes situation and be sharing with you how I have been approaching my latest career pivot. And my hope is that you can learn some things from my journey that you can apply to your own journey. So first and foremost, whenever I am at a space where I feel like I want to make a shift or a shift is required in my career, I apply the D.A.T.A framework. That's D.A.T.A. And that is my proprietary framework that I have used with clients, countless clients, and used myself time and time again so that I can stay focused on the right things at the right time when I'm thinking through, planning, and executing my career transitions. So let me break down the D.A.T.A framework for you, and then I will talk you through how I've applied it and encourage you to apply it yourself. So the D.A.T.A framework is D for define, A for align, T for transition plan, and A for attract. D for define, A for align, T for transition plan, and A for attract. The reason why we have this framework is oftentimes when you are contemplating making a move, it can feel very stressful, sometimes pie in the sky, sometimes like you are throwing spaghetti at the wall. Often the reason why people don't make moves is because they don't feel sure that this is the right decision to make, or they doubt whether or not they should be making this at this season, whether they can make this type of transition, and all of those doubts and worries and fears prevent them from moving forward. So what we like to do as career change makers is take a data-driven approach. Data-driven approach. Many of the women that I work with and that are in this community are highly ambitious, are people who have achieved a lot and have sacrificed a lot of time, energy, and resource to make it to where they are in their career. So the idea that you will just throw away everything that you've worked hard for on a whim is unrealistic, right? You're not going to just be like, okay, I'm just going to go do something different without having a plan. And so what the D.A.T.A framework allows you to do is have a very structured approach that gives you the detail, the validation, the insight that you need so that you can make an informed decision about your next move. So let me talk you through how I have been applying the D.A.T.A framework to my life and situation. So if this is the first time that you're listening to one of the podcasts, quick background about me is I trained and qualified as a corporate lawyer and then moved into working as an in-house lawyer. I essentially worked as a lawyer for just over 10 years as a qualified lawyer in the UK. And in 2014, I got my coaching certification and was managing a portfolio career where I was coaching on the side and then I was still lawyering. In 2021, in lockdown, I found myself working as sole legal counsel for a busy startup and coaching clients and homeschooling 2 young children. So needless to say, something had to give, and I decided that I was no longer going to focus on my legal career and instead I would go all in my business, which was all fantastic. One of my last goals that I had on my bucket list of things that I wanted to achieve was to go full-time in my business. It was great having a portfolio career. It was also a lot to be managing so many things. And so I had that as my goal. Like, I want to go full-time in my business. All fantastic. I pursued that goal. I achieved that goal. What happened after was unexpected. So oftentimes when you're striving towards a goal, you anticipate that you're going to feel a certain way or it's going to look a certain way. And when I reached the goal, I was at first very excited. And then after some time started to be like, okay, I feel like I'm coasting now. Like, what am I actually doing? What is going on? Because I no longer had a goal to work towards. And I had a mini identity crisis, which is a conversation for another day. But essentially, I was in a space where I was like, okay, so I've achieved my goal. So what's next? The vision that I had set for myself only went so far. And when I arrived there, I realized that I didn't have the next phase vision. I didn't know what that looked like. And so over the last few years, I've been trying to figure out, what does this stage look like? What does this next season look like? I'm still young. I have a long way to go in terms of building a business or having a career. What do I want that to look like? And so I've been focusing on the define phase for a while, defining what I want this next season to look like. And some of the things that I've been doing is speaking to people who have businesses that look attractive to me, that have different business models to me, that have been in the game for a lot longer. I've been working with mentors and coaches. I have been just going out there, trying new things, working with different types of clients, just to see what is it that I want to create in this next season. So the defined phase is a lot around targeted experimentation. It's you giving yourself the permission to have a vision, have an idea, and then test out those ideas. So for you, if you're in a season where you're finding that you're stuck with coming up with what it is you want to do, it's probably because you're not gathering enough information in order for you to make a decision. Like if you're just scrolling job boards or just reading articles, that's not giving you enough tangible information for you to determine, is this potential path a path that I want to go down? And we spend quite a bit of time with clients inside of the Career Changemaker program, helping them to define what is the right role for them in this next season. And keyword there for them, because sometimes a perfect role can be a perfect role, but it might not be the perfect role for you in this season of your life, your career. It just might not be the right thing. So it's helping you to determine what is the right thing for you. And then the next phase is align. How do you then take what you have established as your vision and start to bring it to life by aligning your existing experience? So often, we've done so many things in our careers that can help us in this next phase, but we can gloss over it, especially if you're moving into something different. So you may not think what you've done in the past is relevant, but it is. And you may not recognize the relevance. You may not recognize the potential impact of what you've done in the past on what you're going to do in the future. So taking the time to really dissect and analyze what you've done and how it can be leveraged to help you move forward. So for me, that's looked like me analyzing the hundreds of clients that I've coached over the years, the different types of topics I've been coaching on, the ways that I've been helping organizations, the types of speeches that I've delivered in different settings, and just the body of work that I've developed over time as a coach, speaker, consultant, podcaster, and asking myself, where do I want to double down and how does some of what I've done already help me in terms of the direction that I want to go in going forward? So that alignment piece is key. It's key because it helps you to see what you've done in the past and what you can do in the future. It can boost your confidence around the transition that you're going to make, but it also sets you up to then position yourself when you are speaking to people externally and trying to secure your next opportunity. And then the next piece is transition plan. So this is where we're at right now. What is the transition plan? How are we going from where we are now to where it is we want to be? What are the tangible steps that need to be put in place? And so when I'm saying I'm bringing you behind the scenes, I'm literally walking you through the thought process that I've been going through and this framework that's helping me to determine my course of action. So for me, transition plan, I am absolutely loving the results that I've been hearing and seeing from clients that I've been able to work with over the last few years. It warms my heart so much when I get an update from a client who's like, we worked together 3 years ago, and as a result of what we did together, I'm now here. It was so nice when I went to Atlanta. I caught up with a client I worked with last year, and just seeing where she is and how her mindset has shifted and her thought process is different. It's just wonderful. So I love working with individuals. I've also been doing a lot of work in organizations and supporting them with their people development initiatives and the support that they put in place for their people so they can actually thrive in the work that they do. When I've worked with one-to-one clients, often I see people wanting to leave their organizations, not necessarily because it's not the right fit, but because the culture isn't quite right or the organization hasn't offered the right amount of support. And so there's a lot more opportunity around improving people's experience at work by putting better structures, systems, and support in place by their organizations. And so going into this next season, I want to double down on that type of work and do more of that. I want to speak on more stages. I want to go to more conferences where I'm speaking, where I am helping individuals within organizations and organizations to create better structure so that people can thrive in the work that they do. So what that means in terms of a transition plan is for this next season, I need to have more focus on building out my offerings and my ways of supporting organizations, which means I don't have as much capacity for running my group coaching program and working with private coaching clients. And so there's going to be a bit of a shift in terms of where I focus my energies and the work I am specifically doing. And so I want to share with you that that's not easy. It's not an easy decision. It's not easy to think, oh, I'm going to change the way that I'm working, because what I've been doing so far has been working very, very well. But I know that there is more for me to do in terms of impact and reach, and putting myself in spaces and working with different people has made me see that there's a lot more potential that I'm not yet tapping into, that I want to. And so my transition plan looks like reorganizing the back end of my business and the way that I am operating, the way that I am serving people, so that it frees me up to do more of the work that I feel called to in this season. And that looks like having team support in different ways. That looks like offerings being restructured. And so that is what we're working on right now. And I'm saying working on because it's still a work in progress and everything hasn't fully been finalized and fleshed out, but I'm sharing with you what I know so far. And that is that the September cohort of the Career Changemaker program will be the final cohort of that program. We are going to sunset it on a high. We have served so many people. And so I'm ready and raring to go with this final cohort to pour everything out, to share the continual behind the scenes with those who are in the program and to support them with making their career pivots and transitions into more meaningful and impactful work while securing 5-figure salary increases. Yeah, I'm excited. The final part of the framework is attract. And that is all about positioning. That is all about how you essentially market yourself to attract the type of opportunities that you want. And that marketing can look like your team presence. That can look like your networking ability, strategic networking. That can look like you making sure that you have a strong digital footprint. There's so many ways that you can be looking at how you attract opportunities beyond the traditional job boards and beyond the traditional recruiter relationships. And so the attract is when you're able to take everything that you come up with in the define, align, and transition phase, and then make sure that you're putting your best foot forward in the attract phase and you are positioning yourself as an ideal candidate for the type of role that you want. And so for me in this season now, as I am thinking about transition, I'm rethinking my marketing channels, I'm rethinking where I am showing up so that I am able to attract the type of clients and opportunities that I want next. So that's really where I've been at. And honestly, using this framework each and every time I've been at a crossroads has been so helpful, because I know there's no point me jumping and coming up with a plan to make a transition if I haven't clearly defined the vision. What am I planning if I don't know where I'm going? And I see so many people making that mistake. Like they're like, oh, I want to get out of here. I want to make a new job. I see so many people making that mistake. They're like, okay, I'm done. I want to leave this place. I want to move into something else. And they go straight to, I need to update my CV. I need to update my LinkedIn profile. My question, if that is you, my question is, with what? With what? What are we updating our CV with, our resume with? What are we updating our LinkedIn profile with if we don't know where we're going? So I know that when you are in a space of frustration or wanting to move, taking action feels good. Like, oh, I've updated my CV, I've done something to move towards the goal. But actually, that type of action isn't necessarily moving you to where you want to be. It may move you. It may move you into a new role, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an ideal role for you. So my encouragement to you is to do the groundwork, spend time in the define phase, spend time in the align phase, get clear on where you're going, get clear on what you've got in your toolkit to get you there before you map out your transition plan. And ultimately, you're going to get to your destination way quicker. That is what I have for you in today's episode, behind the scenes. If you are liking the sound of the data framework and how it can be applied to your situation, and you want to dig deeper with that, and you want some support with that application and really understanding the layers that there are in this, there's various exercises in each of these phases that you go through to get you to where you need to be to move to the next phase. Come and join us in this final cohort of the Career Changemaker program. It's going to be fire. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait. I'm excited for the women who are going to be in here. And we have opened the waitlist. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to careerchangemakers.com/waitlist. Get yourself on the list. What happens when you're on that list is you're going to receive a number of emails over the next few weeks that are going to be sharing with you insights, tips, strategies, thought experiments that you should be focused on if you're looking to make a transition in the next 3 to 6 months. Sign up to get the emails. And then if you decide that you want to join the program and you join the program within the first 48 hours of enrollment opening, you'll get access to a very special bonus, which will be a one-to-one powerful positioning call with me, where I'm going to help you to really dig into your existing experience so that you understand how to position yourself very, very well so that you're able to secure 5-figure salary increases. We've had clients who have secured 10, 20, 30, 40,000 pounds increases on the offers that were on the table for them purely because of their powerful positioning. So we will map out your strategy on that call, and those calls are only available to people who join the program in the first 48 hours of them opening. So I've said a lot. I hope to see you on the wait list, and I will speak to you very, very soon. Head over to careerchangemakers.com/waitlist. And until next time, look after yourself and keep moving towards your career goals. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe to the show so that you don't miss any future episodes. Also, I would love to know what your biggest takeaway has been from today's episode. Come over and join us in our Career Changemakers community over on LinkedIn so that you can join the conversation there. Head over to lightbotscoaching.com/community and it will take you right to the group.